Well, fucking A, man. I accidentally clicked off. I was talking about this YouTube that I was watching. It kind of inspired me to make this video. It is this guy named Jack Morgan. His channel is called Jack Morgan RLP. And he does a lot of like reaction videos about the current state of the world, mainly America, the economy, just a lot of different topics he covers about just trying to make it, just trying to survive in America today. And there's a lot of people out there struggling, man. Like, so many people. Me included, myself. I mean, I'm okay right now. I'm okay, but I'm definitely not, stress-free and by any means. I'm struggling financially, mentally, emotionally. I got a lot of stuff going on. And I'm not here making this video to like, oh, poor me, let me unload all my problems on a YouTube video just to vent to some random person that might see this. That's not really the goal. But I was watching one of Jack's videos, and it did kind of inspire me to just pop on here and just make a video with no real intention, just to talk, because I know I am not the only one. There's, like I was saying before, so many people, especially my age group and younger, are struggling, man. Like, even in America, which we have so much to be grateful for, so many things that other countries don't have or can't have, or the government doesn't allow it or offer it, or there's just a whole list of things that Americans have access to, or opportunities that a lot of places in the world don't have. And I'm super grateful, super grateful for everything that I have and the way I'm able to live. Even though I am struggling, it's still it's still better than a lot of people, a lot of places in the world. Sorry, I keep wiping my mouth. I got a cotton mouth. Grab some water. Oh my gosh, my legs. I was just doing the leg press and got cotton mouth. Need to rehydrate real quick. Sorry, I might edit this later. I hate having dry lips when I'm trying to talk. But that's what she said. Anyway. So I'm here at the gym alone, like I said, just making some content. I guess you could call this content. It's not really anything specific, like I said. It's just, I felt a little inspiration to record with no real intention, no real idea, I guess, like just going off the wall here. But just a quick little story about what I'm dealing with right now. I just lost my job yesterday. I was laid off. And I'm still in the phase of accepting what happened. I'm still kind of like in sort of like a state of disbelief. Like, I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, where, like, why did this happen so suddenly? Like, my brain just is having a hard time accepting it and figuring out what to do next. Because, bills are still coming. They're not going to stop coming just because I lost my job. And luckily, I do have a little side gig. I do DoorDash on the side, which I did that while I was working too, but now it seems I'm going to have to do that, at least for a little while, until I can find something. I mean, it's hard to find jobs. I mean, I live in Wilmington, North Carolina, so it's not the cheapest place in the world to live. And to live here, you gotta make a certain amount of money just to be able to pay the rent. You know what I mean? And all the other bills, obviously, food, taking care of my dogs, your typical stuff. It's not the cheapest place in the world to live. Not the most expensive. It's not outrageous, but it's definitely not cheap. So I am concerned. I'm worried. What's gonna happen? I don't want to get evicted. Definitely don't want that to happen. I went yesterday to a place I had previously worked in my life. Won't say the name of the place, but it's a grocery store. And there is one basically like a mile, maybe less than a mile from my apartment. So I went there yesterday and asked them if they had any open positions. And sorry, still got that dry cotton mouth shit. So I went there yesterday and talked to one of the managers, and he said they will have a opening because someone's about to leave, and he said the job will be posted Friday, which will be tomorrow. So he said make sure to keep an eye out on that, and I gave him my name and number, and he said he would keep in contact. He would, he said he would keep in contact, which probably means I'm gonna need to keep in contact, like he has my information, but I'm probably gonna have to be the one to call him back. That's just kind of how it goes, which I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm gonna check online for that position, go ahead and apply for it, and immediately call him and see how that goes. I'm hoping, since I have experience in the past with that particular store, not at this location, obviously this was years ago, but I do have experience, and I'm really hoping that if I talk to him tomorrow, he can be like, yeah, we'll start you next week or something. I don't know. It's just I gotta figure something out, and I can't stop there just because it might be a possible position. I can't just hope for that and wait for it to happen. I'm still gonna have to pursue other opportunities. I mean, Wilmington is a pretty large city, so I know there's jobs out there. It's just the whole thing of just the idea of, well, not really the idea, just the process of updating my resume, putting in applications, taking the time to go to interviews, and the whole thing of finding a job it's hard in a way because you don't know if the place is gonna, you might do an interview and then they decide, oh well, we're gonna choose another candidate. So you took all that time to do that and then got nothing out of it. So that's just how it goes sometimes, I guess. But it worries me that if I don't land something soon, I really don't even want to think about it. If I got evicted, I don't know what I would do. Like, that would really suck. Obviously, that would suck. I do have an option if it all goes to hell. My mom, thank God for her, she said I would be welcome to come stay with her and my stepdad for a while if it comes to that. Which, no offense, I love my family. They've helped me in lots of ways. I've loved them. I have loved them. I love them. And I'm grateful for them over my whole life. My mom has been amazing. And I love them. But that doesn't mean I want to live with them. 33 years old. I like my independence. I like my privacy. I like just the whole thing, living on your own. Sometimes it's not so fun being alone. It's not, the best, but it's also nice in some ways because you don't have to tiptoe around. You don't have to walk on eggshells for anybody. You don't have to act a certain way or do certain things to get approval of, say, for instance, my stepdad. If I go live under his roof, I'm gonna have to go by his rules. And I can respect that, I understand that. But I pray to God, really, really, really hope that I can work something out before that happens. I really don't want to do that. That will totally turn my world upside down, which it's already kind of turning since I got laid off. That was a major blow, and it hurt. I'm not gonna lie. It really hurt. And it sucks because I know there's so many people out there struggling just like me. A lot of them are worse off, some of them are not, some of them are doing better than me. But I know there's a lot of people out there struggling just to live, man, just to live. Not to even succeed, just to live, just to eat, just to have a place to sleep at night. It's become what I guess an epidemic type thing for people my age. Some older, some younger. I can't blame it all on the economy. Personally, I don't know. Personally, I've put myself in this position obviously, I mean, nobody made me make these decisions to get me where I'm at now besides me. I'm the one who made the decisions to put myself where I'm at now. And I am a spiritual person. I believe in God. I love God. I believe in Jesus. I pray to God almost every single day for guidance and direction. You know, I pray for peace. I pray for a whole list of things. I pray for all kinds of things. Every day it's something. But I did pray for, I don't know how to say this, but I prayed in a way to where I thought this would be where I'm supposed to be. This is where I ended up because I prayed about it, and certain opportunities came up. I took them, which is how I ended up in Wilmington. I had a job offer that I didn't really want it. Honestly, I didn't want to take the job. And this was a couple of years ago, obviously. I mean, I worked there almost 2 years. And the only reason I moved to Wilmington was for this job. So I wouldn't have to drive an hour to work and back every day. Because then I'm not with that. I've had to do that before in the past. And anything more than 30 miles away, I'm not down with it. I do not like having to travel that far to and from work every day. That's just, it's time, it's miles and gas on my car, it's just not ideal for me. I don't like to do that. If it's more than 30 miles, I don't really like to do that. So that's why I moved to Wilmington for this job, and now I got laid off from this job, and it's a big blow. Like, it hit me hard, but I know it's not the end of the world. The world's gonna keep spinning. Things will go on, and I truly believe that I will find a way to get back on my feet. I don't know how. Obviously, I'm gonna have to get a job. That would be, how I'm gonna be able to pay for stuff. But as far as life in general, like, I believe, like I was saying before, I do believe that God brought me to this place for a reason, where I'm at now. I do believe things happen for a reason. And I don't know what the reason is for this particular situation in my life. I'm not sure why all this happened the way it did. I prayed for this job before I took it. Like I was saying before, I didn't want this job when they offered it to me. I turned them down. And a couple months went by, and they reached back out to me, which is kind of odd for a company to reach out to someone after they denied the spot. And I'm just being totally honest. I turned them down again. I was like, I just don't think that's something I would enjoy. I don't think I would be really good at it. I don't think I would like it. But it pays pretty decent. over 20 an hour. So that was the only thing that had me thinking, I might take the job. But I knew in my heart that I wouldn't enjoy the work. I knew it. That's why I turned him down twice. And I don't know, maybe a couple months later, he reached back out again. And seeing if I was interested. And like I said, I pray every day for guidance, and I prayed for a sign from God, and I got a sign. After they reached back out the third time, I got a sign, the one I prayed for. And it was kind of like, wow, that's pretty clear. It wasn't exactly, what I prayed for. It wasn't 100%. It was like 99.9% for what I prayed for, and the sign that I got from God, which I believe. So I was like, okay, maybe I need to take this job and see what happens. I feel like third time, most companies, for me personally, I've never had company reach out to me after denying them 2 times. Said, no, I don't think so. I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm whatever. I gave them the reason. And they kept reaching out to me. So I thought, okay, this has got to mean something. God's calling me. That's what I felt. I felt like it was a calling. So I took the job because it pays well. Not enough to be like rich or anything close to that, but it was enough to get ahead a little bit, But also, back to the fact that I was mentioning earlier, Wilmington is not the cheapest place to live. So it kind of evened out, really, with my bills and my compensation from the job. It kind of, evened out. It's not like I was able to rack up a bunch of money and save it all and, do all these things. It was basically like, okay, I'm making more money, but now I'm paying more bills. So it was kind of like, I don't know what I'm exactly trying to say, but it didn't really make that much of a difference as far as getting ahead in life. I mean, I guess the experience from the job was good. I can carry that with me. And the pay was good enough to where I didn't have to ask people for money or anything. I was able to take care of myself, take care of my dogs, and just live okay. I wasn't like out here blowing money or, buying expensive stuff or, going out to eat every night or buying clothes or this or that. I was just living the normal kind of lifestyle for a young 33-year-old dude with not much going for him. I mean, like I was saying before, I'm super grateful for my family and thank God for everything that I have been blessed with in my life. When you take a step back and look at it, it's like, wow, I've been blessed, man. Praise God, dude. I've been blessed. Because some people have it so much worse than me. A lot of people have it a lot better than me, but so many people have it a lot worse than me. And I'm just so grateful, so grateful for everything that I have been blessed with, and everyone in my life that has helped me or given me advice or taught me something or helped me, just anyway, anything you can think of. I'm super grateful for all of it, all the blessings. And now I'm in a spot where, I feel like God called me to take this job. I'm sorry. I feel like God called me to take this job, so I took it. And now I'm laid off. I don't have the job. So now I'm kind of like, okay, what was the point of this? Maybe, it's my own fault for not doing well enough at the job. I mean, there's multiple reasons. First off, the economy is just fucked right now. So many people are fucked. And the company I worked for was not meeting their profit margins or whatever. They weren't meeting their goal financially in profits. And I think combined with that and me not doing the job well enough, I guess, they decided that it would be better to let me go. And I guess eventually, maybe next year they'll probably hire somebody else, but I doubt, there's only a couple months left for the year. I doubt they're going to try to hire somebody and take my spot in that amount of time. So the only other guy in my department, I'm assuming he's going to have to take up all the stuff that I was doing, which, I don't know, man. That seems basically taking on 2 jobs for him. So that's got to be stressful for him. And which, knowing him, he can probably handle it. He's a good dude. He's smart. He's good at what he does. And I'm pretty confident he can handle it. But he's not like me. Like, if they told me that, I'm going to have to carry on another job on top of what I've already tasked with. I don't know if I could do it. Honestly, I'm a weak person in certain ways. Like, I get stressed over certain things. I have an anxiety issue where I get flustered over things and overthink, and it's just anxiety. Anybody who has it knows exactly what I'm talking about, and I think probably a lot of people do have it. Not just me or my age group, but lots of people deal with anxiety these days. And for me personally, certain things, I can't handle it. Maybe it's genetics, maybe it's from things I've done in my life that, decisions I made in the past that have led me to have this problem of anxiety and stress so easily to where I can't handle certain things. And that's part of the reason I'm at the gym now, because I'm trying to keep my mind off of all the stuff that's happening right now. Also trying to stay healthy, but it's a lot on my mind right now. And to be honest, I'm kind of having a little panic attack internally. I'm trying to hold it together. Outwardly, so that, I'm not walking around crying my eyes out, or, begging people for money, or, just anything like that. I'm trying to hold it together, and it's hard, man. It's really hard. I thank God for the people I do have in my life. My family. And I'm not gonna go asking them, to help pay my rent, or, stuff like that. I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to hopefully just make it by somehow and land a job and be able to pay my bills and not get evicted. That's my main concern right now. Sorry, I'm getting that cotton mouth again. Sorry. So yeah, my main concern is not getting evicted. That will be number one. Number two, my car payment. Which, that's out of order. I'm sorry. My dogs. My dogs are like my children. So I love them more than any material thing you can think of. In my car, my apartment, anything like that. I love my dogs. And I gotta be able to take care of them. So I gotta take care of myself to be able to take care of them. And taking care of myself would mean having a job to pay the bills, to pay the rent, so that me and my dogs have a place to live. Seems pretty simple, right? But finding a job, like right now, like you call the job opportunity office and say, hey, give me a job. And they're like, okay, we got you. You can start tomorrow. It doesn't work like that. It's a whole process. You gotta call people, you gotta show up in person, you gotta do interviews, you gotta do all these things in hopes of getting a position. Nothing's guaranteed until they tell you you're hired. So, I guess I'm gonna wrap it up here. I feel like I'm rambling now. I just kind of wanted to give a little view of my life right now, because I know there's lots of people struggling, man. That's what I was saying, how I got inspired to make this little video. I was watching Jack Morgan, and he does these reaction videos of people across America, even other countries, but people talking about how hard it is to just live, to just survive, and forget about success for your average Joe like me. Like, it's hard, man. So I just wanted to share my little piece with the world. And if anybody is out there and they see this, just know you're not alone. Whether you're a man or woman, young, old, single, married, whatever it might be. Like, you're not alone. There's a lot of us struggling right now. And I wanna pray for everyone else who's in a similar situation like me. Because I know how it feels, man. It's scary. It's stressful, especially if you deal with anxiety like I do, or depression, and especially if you have all those things mixed in together and you lose your job and you're kind of wondering, like, how am I gonna avoid this eviction? How am I gonna avoid having to go live back home as a 33-year-old? How am I gonna pay these bills? It's really scary, man. But the one thing I do know is God is real. God is love. God loves me. God loves you. He loves us all. And like I said, I don't know how it's gonna happen, what might happen, but I know that God has brought me to this point, and He will take me out of this place and put me in a new position at another job. He will take care of me one way or another, as long as I apply myself, put in the effort. And same for you, man. If you just don't give up, apply yourself, do what you gotta do. I mean, it's not gonna be easy. It's very scary. Like right now, I'm fucking scared, man. Like, I know it's kind of weird to say from a 33-year-old man, but life can be scary, man. Just being brutally honest, dude. It's fucking scary. But I gotta I gotta stay patient. I gotta stay calm. I can't freak out and, have a mental breakdown because I lost my job. I gotta hold it together. I gotta stay strong. I gotta put in the effort to get a new job. And I believe that if I do my part, if I put in the effort, if I keep the faith, that God will take care of me. One way or the other, He will take care of me. And I believe that for myself. I believe that for you, whoever might see this. If you put your faith in God and put in the effort for whatever you can do, whether it's, finding a job, like in my position, I've got to update my resume. I've got to go online, start looking for places. I'm even gonna do the old school way and go straight to the place, wherever it might be, and ask if they're hiring. My next option was somewhere like Lowe's or Home Depot, or a hardware store, just something that will get me by until, because even if I land one of those jobs, I really doubt they're going to pay enough to, cover all my expenses that I have right now. So I'm probably going to have to do DoorDash every day until I do land a job. And even then, I'll probably still have to do DoorDash on the side. Oh, sorry.